Welcome back everyone, Dustin here again, Average Guy Hi-Fi. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Just due to the comments that I've had on my channel asking how I get such good deals, I figured I would just give you guys some advice on what I do to get the deals that I get. The good news is that I don't do anything special at all. Again, the name of the channel is Average Guy Hi-Fi. I'm kind of an average guy. I just live in the Seattle area, so I kind of am around a lot of people that move here from out of state, out of country, sell things because of move. So a lot of equipment kind of flows around this area. At least that's what I hear when I talk to other people in the forums when it comes to their local used market. But I wanted to put together this buyer's guide a little bit to give you some advice on how to get good deals. And please, if this video helps you guys and you end up landing some speakers that you didn't think would be within your range, or if you get good deals on stuff, please feel free to comment in there. I'm just love hearing the deals that people get out there. And again, this channel is really, I'm just kind of dedicating it more towards the beginners and people out there that have tighter budgets. So there's definitely a market for it. I'm up to, I think, 940 subscribers at the time of this video. And I know I said this in the previous video, but I'm way ahead of what my goal was, like way ahead. So I'm just super thrilled with the feedback that I've been getting. It seems like it's a good idea. It's not for everybody. There's some hateful comments that have been left there, but everybody has the right to their opinion. And you know, as long as they know that this channel is just geared towards the average guy and the beginners, hopefully they won't be too harsh on me, because I'm not giving you guys graphs. I'm not supplying super detailed specifications. I'm giving you my real world. Most of us have lives. We have jobs. We can't sit there and just dwell on graphs and all the other things that a lot of the people that eventually, if you're going to build like a dedicated room and just throw unlimited money at it, that makes sense. But just for putting a little home theater system like I do in this little living room that I'm in right now, I felt like there was a need for somebody out there to kind of give those people a voice and let you know that you can get very good audio with very tight budgets. So again, I wanted to put together this little list due to the comments that have been popping up. So we're going to kind of break it down to 5 categories. And this is my advice on how what I do to get the deals that I get within my little market here. So we'll start with, I throw a very wide net when it comes to speaker brands. I've owned brands like Martin Logan, Definitive Technology, Clip, Shrell, SVS. I mean, just about anything you can name, I've owned a few of their speakers. So I'm not particular when it comes to brand. I'm not like a brand loyalist. I am a Klipsch guy, but I will definitely put Definitive Technology right up against them, no problem, depending on the room, the budget, and the looks, and all those type of things. So when I'm shopping, I have I'm not just focused on one particular brand. I would actually keep that pretty open. Again, there's speaker manufacturers out there have different sound signatures. So if you're just starting out, you're going to have to kind of just jump right into the pool. But the good news is on the used market, you can do it. And if you get good deals on stuff, you can generally sell it for what you paid for it, and then also try out something else. That's really where I like this little hobby that I'm into, and I've been doing it for about 20 years. So it's just because I know that if I get a good deal on something, I can bring it home, listen to it for 6 months, and then if I don't like the sound of it or something else pops up, I can generally get my money back out of it. So the first category that I'm saying is just keep an open mind when it comes to brand. Don't get dug in on one brand because that's the only brand you've ever heard of, or that's the only brand that people in the forums recommended. What I'm noticing is that many people online just throw out opinions when they literally don't have any personal experience. I have personal experience with a lot of brands, and I know that they have different sound signatures, but not like some you'll like more than others, but it's not, basically the good brands will have good quality sound. So throw a wide net. Keep an eye out for something that's local to you as well, like Aperion Audio is down in Oregon. So I'm up in Seattle. So those things pop up, just killer deals all the time because of the close proximity to their factory and everything. So that's another thing to take into consideration, just because your market might be way better than my market when it comes to certain manufacturers. So to keep an eye out for that too as well. So throw a wide net. If you have a pretty tight budget, don't just stick with one brand and trying to find one brand and doing it on the cheap. No, throw a wide net out there. Keep it open to a bunch of different brands. Number 2 would be set up search criteria. It's almost like Zillow. I'm in real estate. That's my day job. And then, put in your search windows. So there's websites like OfferUp, there's LetGo, there is Craigslist, and there is Facebook Marketplace. So what you can do on Facebook Marketplace, LetGo, and OfferUp, you can go in there and just type in like, we'll use Martin Logan for an example. Type in Martin Logan and then set up an alert. So what happens, that alert will just notify you when anything Martin Logan comes up. And again, we go back to that brand. So if you keep that net kind of wide and broad, you'll be getting notifications quite often if you're in an area that has a lot of people. Like I said, I'm in the Seattle area, there's a lot of moving going on, so people list their gear all the time. So I just get notified when gear pops up, and if it looks like a good deal, then I will reach out to the person and try to buy it. But definitely set those searches up, because all the speaker flippers, the real truth is there's a bunch of speaker flippers out there. I used to do it every once in a while. I'd buy a set of speakers, listen to it, and then make some money on it just so I can put more money back into my system. I'm not doing it anymore now that I started this channel. It just doesn't feel right. I want to pass on the deals that I'm getting to everybody in my local market. So number 2 is definitely set those search notifications up. That way you're notified when somebody lists speakers that you have interest in. That's a really big one because people jump on stuff, especially when they're really good deals. Number 3 is don't be afraid to look out of your local market. Again, I'm in the Seattle area, but I have a city up in Bellingham that's kind of up towards the Canadian border, and there is also the state capital down in Olympia. So what I do is I actually have searches kind of going on in both of those other areas as well. So it has a nice big open area. So when things are listed, I get notified kind of from all over. So don't be afraid to drive distances. That's things that I'm willing to do on my, I'm a single guy. So on my weekends, I'm willing to hop in my car. It's kind of fun for me, a little bit therapeutic, not thinking about the job, head down to Olympia or even Portland if there's a really good deal down there. And then I'll go buy speakers and bring them home and test them out. So don't be afraid to travel. Number 4 is packages. This is really the best. This is my favorite one, and I know Youthman's a fan of this one as well too. If you're just looking for bookshelf speakers and say somebody lists a bookshelf speakers with a subwoofer and a receiver, figure out what those other units are and then try to get their worth and then buy the whole package from the person. And then maybe you can sell the receiver, maybe you can sell the subwoofer and end up with the bookshelves even cheaper than you had imagined. So I've bought packages where there's 12 speakers in it and I really only needed 2 of them. So there's been times where I've sold all 12 speakers and I got those ones that I really wanted, the speakers that I really wanted, for basically free. So don't be afraid to buy package deals. And if you are buying a package deal, don't be afraid to ask the question as well, hey, do you have any extra speaker wires? Do you have any HDMI cables? A lot of times people just have this stuff and they were just going to plan on throwing it out anyway. So just don't be afraid to ask that question if you make a deal on something and you head there to get it. So definitely buy packages. I honestly think for the person out there on a budget, that is the best way to do it. It opens things up a little bit. You have more gear, you can sell it, all that stuff, and then you have less money into the speakers that you really wanted. The other thing is negotiation. I'm a pretty nice guy, generally speaking. I'm willing to help people. If people lowball me, then I don't really take offense to it. I can if they do it in the wrong way. So I'm very friendly, especially if there's something that I see that somebody's offering. It's like Uber. I want my ratings on OfferUp. I want my ratings on Facebook Marketplace to be nice and high. That way, if that person has me that they're reaching out to, or somebody else that wants to buy their speakers, that they know that I got a pretty high rating because I treat people fairly. If I've ever sold something to somebody and it didn't work, I'm more than happy to give them their money back. If somebody sells me something and it didn't quite work out, I'm usually not the type of guy that would want the money back on that. I would probably just try to fix it and see if I can go from there. But basically, just really be kind to people, because that's something that I feel like it's getting lost. The more people spend online, the more they think they can treat people like they do online. But just be nice to people. This audio community is filled with fantastic people. I've probably met 15, 20 people that text me on the regular asking me about speaker deals, just let me know about their system, those type of things. This is a little audio community here in the Seattle area, and I'm sure you guys have that as well. So just treat people kindly. Also, do fair negotiating. If you're going to throw out a really low offer and just offend somebody, which people do get offended, by the way, treat them fairly. If it's something was just listed and they listed it for $200 and you offer them $50, that's going to be pretty off-putting. So give them fair offers. Make sure that you meet at the time. Don't just reach out to people either and not follow up, because that's really annoying, especially for somebody like me that relies on selling this audio gear, and I'm going to hold it for you. If you reach out to me and say, hey, Dustin, I would love to buy those Definitive Technology towers, I'm going to hold those for you. But then when you don't reply to my messages and you just ghost me, that's just kind of that's a crappy situation to be in. So just be kind to people, be courteous, stick to the timelines. If you tell somebody you're going to meet with them, all that stuff. And it's like karma, in this whole thing. You're gonna get a bad reputation if you're the person out there just offending people, and it's pretty off-putting. I get there's 3 people that just anytime I list something, say I list something for $400, they're going to throw me an $80 offer, and I try my hardest to be kind to those people, but sometimes I get irritated myself, and I'll give them a little bit of the business. So again, these are the 5 points. Make sure that you just cast a wide net, unless there's brands that you just really want. And if you just focus in on a couple brands, you're obviously not going to get as much. But if you focus in on a few brands, make sure that you set up your search windows nice and wide, so you're getting notified from kind of all over if you're willing to drive. Number 2, which I think is the most important, set up your notifications. Make sure that you are notified when speakers pop up in your area. The brands I know everybody keeps talking about Klipsch, Definitive Technology, Polk, Martin Logan, all those brands. There's in the Seattle area is probably 1,000 people out there that have searches set up. So you have to be quick. If somebody lists something a good deal, if it's a good deal and it's worth it to you, then shoot them just a full price offer so you can secure it. Otherwise, if you're like, hey, I'll give you $50, this has burnt me many times. I'm like, I know that it was a good deal, but I tried to save a little bit of money on those speakers, and then they reply back, hey, they just sold, and they sold for my asking price. So it's like a little jab there from the seller to me, knowing that he listed them or she listed them at a fair price, and I still was trying to get more off. So you'll have to kind of figure that out as time goes on, but use eBay as your resource just to try to get a rough idea of what speakers are selling for. That way you kind of come in and educated, and when something's a really good deal, I wouldn't waste my time negotiating on it. Just jump on it, otherwise somebody else will. The third category was just distances. Be sure that you are willing to travel if you're willing to, make sure that you set up those searches in other areas as well, so you can be willing to travel when things pop up. I'm pretty busy during the week. Literally, I'm working probably, there's some people work more, but I'm probably working 45 to 55 hours a week, I would say on average, especially during this time of the year. So my weekends and my evenings, I'm basically in my car going to buy new speakers and new gear so I can review for this channel. So that's also been a little bit of the reason that things kind of got slow between the last videos. Number 4, packages. I don't know, this one's really awesome too. Don't be afraid to buy too much gear, especially if it's something that you really want. I wouldn't just reach out to them and be like, hey, will you sell me just the towers, if they're trying to sell tower, center channel, subwoofer, all of that stuff. Just buy the package, and then if it's a good deal, you can sell the other gear, and sometimes you can be out of it, no money out of your pocket. Say if you had like 2 Definitive Technology Mythos towers that you wanted, but it came with the center channel, came with the subwoofer, but it was only a little bit more, you can list the other gear and then recoup some of that money and even get a better deal. And I've done that before, where I've literally sold everything around it, all the other stuff that I ended up getting for it, and it covered what the actual speakers that I went with. So don't be afraid to buy packages. That's a really good piece of advice there. If you got the extra money, plunk it down, sell the rest of the gear. It's going to take you a little bit more time, but it's definitely going to be the best way to build a budget system. The other thing is just do fair negotiations and treat people kindly. I've ran into probably 8 people that we've done business before in the past. They'll buy something from me, I'll buy something from them. And if you get a reputation in this little audio community that we got, then it's not great. They'll just look past you and go towards somebody else when it comes to the next deal that they're going to be offering. So treat people fairly, don't lowball them too hard. Now, if something sits on market, basically that's another thing that you can, if it's sitting on market, then you have a little bit more flexibility. I'm going to add one more thing in here, and this is also another big one. Be sure to save any listings that you have that are interest to you, like in Facebook Marketplace, in OfferUp, in LetGo. They have a save feature, so you put a little heart on OfferUp, and that'll just put it in a bunch of what they call boards, and then you just go into there every once in a while, just check on them and see if people have lowered prices, see if things are still sitting, and then that way, if something's been sitting a while, and it's been on there, I've reached out to people that had stuff listed for 1.5 years, and I've reached out to them and be like, hey, I know these things are probably sold, but are they still available? And then sure enough, they're still available, and that person just put them in the garage, and they just kind of forgot about them. So if something's really old, don't hesitate and reach out to them, because sometimes those are the best deals that you can possibly get. So again, this is not going to be some type of groundbreaking video. Nothing that I'm doing is probably out of the ordinary for a lot of you people, but I really want to help the beginners out there and the people on tight budgets. I think that this type of channel will give you guys good advice just from my personal experience and some of the things that I do to get these deals. Another thing that people ask me all the time and I feel terrible about is everybody wants me to ship the speakers that I'm done reviewing. And I appreciate the subscribers and I appreciate them reaching out to me, but honestly, I can't ship this stuff. It's just too time consuming. I got to get boxes. It's too expensive to begin with. If you're in the local Seattle area, feel free to follow me on OfferUp and everything like that, because then you kind of you'll know when I'm going to be listing stuff. When I post a new video, I'm basically making a sale ad kind of shortly after that. So I was trying to keep this video under 15 minutes. I hope this is what you guys were looking for. This is way different than what I was kind of intended to do, but there was just so many people requesting it. I felt like it would be worthwhile. And I'm just trying to help you guys. Just want to give you guys a little bit more buying advice so you get better deals out there. I just got a killer deal on an SVS subwoofer and a Shure subwoofer. I got a REL subwoofer. I mean, I went kind of subwoofer crazy. Plus, I got some Definitive Technology speakers over the 4th of July weekend. So I've got all my videos kind of lined up. So this is the first video of this week, and I will make another video before the end of the week, I promise. I kind of ended up slacking there during the 4th of July holiday, just running around buying stuff. So, but now I got the gear all lined up. So stay tuned for some cool reviews that I got some gear that I might even keep. I've really been enjoying it. So again, thank you guys. My name is Dustin. The name of the channel is Average Guy Hi-Fi. I really appreciate the support, and I think that I think this is a type of video where it might help you guys out and save you some money, and that's honestly my goal.